1.
Tired of wiping on the same boss for hours?
Die, insect.
Can't seem to win against that new druid deck?
My thanks to you.
Are your teammates not standing on the payload?
Quit lollygagging. Get on the payload.
Well, grab a drink and pull up a chair. This is the Game Case Show, your Blizzard Entertainment podcast. Here are your hosts, Cuddles and Turarts.
Well, hello, hi, howdy, and welcome to episode 94 of The Game Case. I am Chris, also known as Cuddles, a Brewmaster Monk on Airy Peak in the Convert to Raid Guild.
And I am Turarts, a Beast Mastery Hunter, also in the Convert to Raid Guild on Airy Peak server.
This week, we're going to talk a little bit about our week in gaming, answer some questions from the Cuddle crew, and then we're going to be talking to one of the most inspirational, influential, and absolutely incredible people in the world of Warcraft today. He was my buddy. That's totally not true. I was his tag-along buddy on a tour of Blizzard last year. Captain Codfished, how are you doing tonight?
Hey guys, it's very nice to be here and to talk to two people who I definitely respect the living heck out of. So it's nice to be here.
Aw, well, thank you so much for taking time out of your full schedule to hang out with us. How was your week of life?
Oh man, it's been crazy. I spent a lot of time this week, basically kind of doing a lot of fun little things with the COD squad, also doing some real life work, which I know that's what pays the bills and lets me keep playing WoW. So yeah, that's kind of the weekend wrap up. It's definitely nice to have this week over, get ready for a nice next week, and just kind of sit back, relax, have that nice little, I don't know about you guys, but Sunday nights for me, it's, TV shows, Game of Thrones, shower and shave and get ready for the next week.
I definitely know that feeling. It's Game of Thrones right now. Ballers coming up. Do you watch Ballers?
I do watch Ballers, yes.
Oh, I love that show more than I probably should. And what else? Rick and Morty started tonight.
Rick and Morty. I have been seriously saying I'm a pickle Rick like 30 times this week. My wife is totally just ready for it to be over.
Oh, that is glorious. And they, like, if anybody didn't see this tweet, I want to see if I can. This is totally unrelated to WoW and is not going to play well if you're listening to this at home. Fast forward for like 30 seconds. But I have to show this to the folks in the chat room. If you guys did not see this, official Rick and Morty. If anybody doesn't remember the whole Szechuan sauce thing, with Rick and Morty, they officially got the Szechuan sauce today. Like, they tweeted out they got a gigantic jar of McDonald's Szechuan sauce. I don't know how Rick and Morty got it, but I'm just saying they it's for use only in McDonald's restaurants, and it's not to be served for potential non-scientist versions or mad scientists from an alternate dimension and or Jerry. So there you go, little Rick and Morty love for you today. Sorry, it's gonna play really well at home on the download. You guys, that's good audio. You guys enjoy that. This is quality radio programming right here. Since I've totally derailed this, Captain Codfish, what have you been up to this last week, either within or outside the Blizzard universe with video games?
Whew, it's kind of a big one. So I'll be honest. So inside the Blizzard universe, spending a lot of time with WoW. Had a couple of the COD Squad members kind of talk to me a little bit about doing some fun little things with doing Diablo. So played some Diablo. That was fun. And outside of Blizzard games, I played Darkest Dungeon. Don't know if you guys have ever played Darkest Dungeon. It's literally the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So I've just been playing that, and you're pulling my hair out the little bit that I still have left. But it's
You're making good progress.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's and if you guys have seen any videos or heard anything about that game, the announcer, I mean, he has that way of, if it's good, you're like, dude, that dude is awesome. But if something bad happens, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna be thinking about that later. So yeah, it's really cool. So I've been kind of doing that and reading up on 7.3 patch for WoW. That's literally all I've been doing. So what about you? What about you, Torts?
Gaming. So last show for this show we had Fist on, and Cuddles and I don't know if we did a post show, if we did our post show, created Horde Tunes, and I am playing a Horde Blood Elf on Boulder Fist. Is that, I can't remember what her server is.
Boulder Fist. Yeah, I always want to say Blade Fist, or is it Blade Fist? Now I feel like, like when you say the one thing and you're wrong, and then you say the other one, and now I don't know which one I do.
One of those.
This thing is fisting.
Fisting is fisting. Mm-hmm. But so I've been bluffing. I've been mage bluffing, which I've never maged before, and it's kind of fun a little bit. I'm still convert to raid, but I think if I had started anywhere but Blood Elf, because it's so pretty, like it really should be Alliance. It really should be Alliance. I don't know how I would do. But I'm addicted to a game right now. This is not WoW. I think it's a game that you play in Facebook Messenger. It's called Everwing. It's basically a shooting game. Like, I don't think it's going to show up on my phone very well. But you have this little character down here, and you just move it side to side, and it shoots these monsters. And you just level her up so her bullets get bigger. And then you get little dragons that fly with you and will shoot just automatically. I'm addicted. I think I've logged more hours than I should have on this stupid game. That's a Facebook Messenger game. It's not even a real game. It's.
I'm Googling that right now, by all means. Just please keep talking.
Everwing. No, it's called Everwing. And like right now, there's raids you can do. So like people who play it in your Facebook Messenger, you guys can team up and fight this boss. And so you have 60 seconds to do as much damage as you can. And then you get like 7 attempts, and then like after time the attempts build back up, and then you get another 60 seconds to do. I hate myself. I really, really do. But it's addicting and I can't stop. Freaking hey. Other than that, PUBG. I've been doing that solo. I need to get with Cuddle Wife. Cuddle Wife need to have a girls' night. But I made it to 17 on my own twice. 17 seems to be my magic number. But it's a good, relaxing game, just shooting people in the face. It's lovely. Very American.
Nice.
It's alarming how, like, everyone is absolutely enjoying this game. And I feel like everybody that I talk to is like, I don't know why I like this, but I love it.
And it's kind of scary because, like, if you're doing it solo, you're not with someone, so you're not talking. So it's kind of quiet, and you're walking around, and you're like, whatever. And then all of a sudden, you hear shots, and you're like, what the? Because you have your headphones. Well, if you have your headphones on, you're just sitting here, and all of a sudden, there's shots, and you kind of, I jump, and wine goes everywhere, and it's an event. It's an event. But I have punched people to death twice, and I count that as a bigger victory than shooting people to death. This is a violent game. Goodness, people. Goodness. Cuddles, hon, what have you been up to this week in the gaming universe?
Of course, a little bit of PUBG, because everyone's playing it, and it's video game crack. I've been addicted lately to Fallout 4. Like, horribly addicted to Fallout 4. And I've been randomly wandering around the Commonwealth and just, like, not really getting anything done. It was funny. On Friday, I got to record with Shy T and for Pile of Shame, his podcast that talks about, like, the Steam games that you can't, like, all the Steam games that we all have, and our little pile of shame games that we're never going to get to. He's like, well, what unbeatable games are you playing? Like WoW or stuff like that. And, of course, for me, it's Elite Dangerous. But Fallout 4, I believe, falls into unbeatable games for me, because I don't think I'm ever going to finish it. Yeah. Because I think I'm just going to loot all the things and talk to all the people and go to all the places and probably never finish that game. But I love it. And like you said, we rolled Hordes. I've been hoarding.
We did.
I am sorry, friends.
Cause, well, go on. You go on.
I still believe that Sylvanas is inherently evil, and she abandoned her alliance brethren. Yeah, I know Vol'jin was there, and I know things had to be done, but I still believe that she's evil. Ben and John from Azeroth Roundtable and I argued about that.
Oh God! Every time you're on that show, you guys argue at least once
Mm-hmm.
about either Sylvanas or Horde.
Yeah, well, they now have the argument that I'm also a Horde, so I think my biggest problem is, where do I lean? Like, after a long day of questing and I come back to one of these Horde cities, there's spikes everywhere. It seems quite dangerous. I don't know if they don't have any sort of building codes, or I don't know. It's there's too many spikes everywhere. But I'm actually enjoying WoW and having a real good time with it. Of course, Hearthstone, blah blah blah, all the other things. A little bit of Overwatch. I've yet to Doomfist, but I'm excited to. I'm really enjoying gaming right now. It's a wonderful place to be. So we do not have questions for the show this week, guys. Don't forget, you can go to bit.ly/Cuddles Discord. That's bit.ly/Cuddles Discord. You can go over there, get into the Discord server for the game case. There is a text channel called Questions for the Show. You can put your questions right in there, where the Questions for the Show thing, it should explain itself after this bit. But we'll ask your questions, then we'll say your name, and then your questions will get answered. So we'll do that. We'll do that in High Fist. So why don't we go ahead and dive into the meat and potatoes before we talk everything about why we have the wonderful Captain Codfish on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you? Who is the man behind the fish, behind the man, behind the fish that is a captain?
Wow, that's a lot there. Yeah, so I guess I should probably start with probably the most important thing. My actual name's Jason, and I am I wish normally any other time I could tell you what I do, but I don't really know what I do anymore. So, I work for Capital One. I am in IT. That's my primary job. About me, oh man, I could tell you some really weird things. So I'm actually really shy. So things like this make me kind of nervous. But no, it's one of the things that I like to do is I like to game, and this is anytime I can game, do anything, it's kind of stress relief. So I have by the way, and if you guys have not seen this or follow me on Twitter, I have a wonderful wife. We have 4 fur babies. I mean,
Aww.
well, sorry, 4 dogs, 2 cats. If I don't mention the cats, I won't be able to sleep for the rest of the night. And so literally, man, it's like my little slice of heaven. And so yeah, I mean, that's really it about me. I mean, I can, is this like the old AOL thing where you're saying A/S/L? I mean, I can go into that too,
I'm definitely hitting you up in an AOL chat room, Bay.
I'm just letting you know, man. Just just look for the fish.
Oh Lord. Well, let's talk a little bit. So we know who you are, real life. Let's talk a little bit about gaming, because I obviously know more. Well, a lot of our chat room here knows you just looking at the names. But where did you get started with Blizzard games in particular? We can focus on WoW and kind of how has that grown, or how have you grown in that?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Wow. I will be honest with you. I am not one of the guys who started with any of the old WoW games. I literally jumped right into World of Warcraft. I was one of those guys who walked into, I guess they were still GameStops back in the day. I couldn't remember, but I walked in there and this dude's just like, "Hey, do you have a really nice computer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty sweet." And the guy's like, "You should look at this game." And I looked at it and was like, "Dude, I don't know." And he's just like, "No, it's like the new hot thing." And I'm like, "Oh, that's not peer pressure. Hey, let's go do that." So as I started, I'll never forget, I logged in and created a character on a on a PvP server. This is a great story. Didn't know what PvP was because I never played, I never played MMO. So I remember I was Alliance and I was a druid. And I thought it was so cool. I'm walking around in bear form, right? And I'm like, yes, this is what MMOs are about. Got it. This is it. So I literally go to the next area that's contested, and there's somebody there, and their name's red, and they're getting beat up by some like tiger, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'll go help them. So I go over there and use some AOE effect, and I wonder why the guy was killing me. I thought that was weird. So he killed me, and I remember having that moment going, huh, that's weird. So I res and I come back out and I see the guy and it says, guy makes rude gesture. And I'm like, wait, that's not an NPC. And then he wipes the floor with me again. Hence where Codfished the hunter comes in, because I was just like, I can outrun you. So yeah, that's kind of how I started with the game. I will be honest with you. I played 10 years Horde. So
You gotta kick them off.
yeah, 10 years, 10 years. And I'll be honest, not a big lore guy. So every time something was interesting, it was always fun to kind of see people geek out about stuff. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But if that's cool for you, it's cool for me. Like, we killed a boss. You guys are excited. Like, did I get loot? No. Yeah, well. So, that's kind of the way it was for me for the longest time. And I literally was going to quit the game. Had the conversation with my wife where I was just like, it's not even the fact that it was a money sink. It was just the fact of I just wasn't having fun. And when you're not having fun with a game, why play it? So, I had a PlayStation and I was just like, I think I'm just going to give it up. And lo and behold, somebody gave me a link to this wonderful place. And it was just like, hey, look, you should go check these guys out. And yay, here we are.
CTR.
Yes.
Saved so many gamers.
Yes. So yeah, it's definitely nice. So that's kind of, that's really kind of how it all started. I've dabbled in other MMOs, but literally it always comes back to WoW. It always comes back to, like, it feels like it's a home, so when you feel like you're home, it's one of those things where it's like, no matter how the game has changed, it always feels like I can come back here. And I always feel like I know where I'm at. I know what I'm doing. I do it well, but hey, I felt like, that was something. So that is kind of the start of how I started doing what I'm doing.
When did you come into CTRs? It's been around January 20th, 2013. How long have you been CTR?
So I don't know the exact date, but I remember it was mid-WOD. Literally, I think HFC had just dropped, and it was a big deal for me because I was Horde. I literally dropped everything and was just like, you know what? It's a fresh start. Let's start fresh. And then literally I was a leveling fiend. It was just like everything. And for people who don't know me, I only tank. Like, I may try to DPS, but literally I'm just a tank. So that was great because I was getting insta Qs. So I was just like, this is fun. So I leveled a warrior. And then it was like, hey, let's go for a pally. Hey, let's go for a druid. So I leveled them all up. And I was so excited. And I was just like, man, this is crazy. Because I'm looking at guild chat. And I'm looking at all these people saying, hey, looking for this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And I'm like, this is amazing. And then somebody, I'll never forget, somebody says to me, hey, you didn't install Greenwall, so you're probably only seeing a little bit of the chat. And then I installed Greenwall, and then my mind was...
That is always a fun thing when you have, I want to say a new gamer, but no one who's ever been in a mega guild before, and you're like, hey, don't forget this, and then it's just like all this text, and they're just like, oh, Lord. I'm like, yeah.
Right. It was funny because I would say, for those who know me, like every time I log on, I always say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And it was funny because somebody actually sent me a message one day. It was like, man, you're popular. But I only saw like 2 people reply. And I was like, man, if 2 people reply and I'm popular, oh no, I gotta rethink this. But then, like, all of a sudden, like, a couple days later, I had it installed, and like literally, it was like, "Morning, hey, buddy," and I'm like, "Oh, hey, that's kind
I
of odd."
haven't been saying hi to all of you.
That's glorious.
Yeah.
Oh, the beauty of Greenwall.
So you came in to, I'm trying to think, HFC, that was about halfway. I'd say we were probably about a year and a half old. But now, COD Squad, I mean, I don't want to say it is a big part of CTR. It is. How did that come about? What was kind of the story behind it? And did you expect it to become what it is today?
Wow. All right. No. No. I had no idea this would happen. All right. So, the story behind COD Squad that a lot of people don't know is, so when I joined CTR, it was amazing. It was great. But I was fresh, right? A fresh at that point, 100, and I was like, all right, I want to go tank some things. And at this point, everybody's either raiding and stuff, or there are people like me who wanted to do things. We couldn't get a full group, so we'd always have to like pug an extra person, which is not a big deal. But as a tank, people always want you to go faster. They always want you to pull more. Why did you die? Why did you do this? Like, I wanted to experience the game a little bit on a different level. And I'll never forget one day, it was some odd time. And when I mean odd time, I'm on Eastern Standard Time and the server's on PST, but it was, I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why I was up, just random. And I said I wanted to run a mythic. And somebody quotes me, "We're only looking for," insert some random crazy eye level. And I was just like, wow. I was like, isn't that the level of stuff that's dropping in HFC? I mean, like, that's like, why would I have that kind of gear? The guy's like, well, we're not carrying you. And I remember having a conversation with this person. The person literally at one point was just like, leave me alone. And I'm like, no, I just want to understand. And I remember getting halfway through that conversation that the person literally said, you don't understand. It's eye level or bust. And I remember having this, like, just this horrible feeling. And I remember saying, I'm not the only one. And when you have that epiphany, it's not good, because you're realizing that there are other people who are having this same problem. So what do? You can be one of two people, is kind of my thought process. You can take it and say that this is what it is, or you can do what I did, which I still don't believe I did it. You can try to make a change. So I remember just kind of having just general runs with some CTR folks. Actually, I can actually remember that there was a run that I actually had with Pat Crane. And I remember him saying, "Thanks, man, that was awesome." And I remember having that moment where I was just like, it was awesome. And it was challenging, but I knew who was in the group. And so I kind of had that conversation where I said, this game is so much better when you're killing internet dragons with your friends. That was it. The epiphany hit, and I was like, what if you created a group whose main job was to combat the whole, hey, eye level requirements, and you really looked at, hey, look, what do you need? And that's a question I think that sometimes gets missed. Some people need companionship. Some people want a place to talk. Some people are looking for positivity. Some people just want to play the game. But what if you gave them all of that in an environment where they could ask their questions, speak freely, and do all of that? Like, so the initial question I think you asked was, did I think it would ever get this big? The answer to that was, when I decided to do it, I told Mrs. Cod, a.k.a. my wife, I said, if I get 50 people, I've done my job. 50 people was all I was looking for. Because, 5-man groups, that's 10 groups. I was like, that's it. That's all I needed. Wow. So when we hit 50, I remember having the conversation, that's it, man. We're done. It's over.
We did it.
We did it. Everybody, take a couple weeks off. We're good to go. And I remember it being a really, really long weekend. Like, I think like work was hectic, and I didn't log on for a couple days. And I came back to Discord, and it said, "You have 10 friend requests," and I'm like, huh, "That's weird." So I didn't even look at them. So I clicked on the Battle.net launcher, and my friends list is full. And I'm looking at it oddly, like, all right, this is some kind of joke. And so I'm accept, and I don't know who these people are. Well, somebody put out our information on a Facebook WoW group. Oh, okay, that cool. And then a lady put it out on like a Women of WoW group. And then that got shared somewhere else, and then that got shared somewhere else. And the next thing I know, I'm spending the next 2 weeks talking to people who are like, "This is an amazing idea, and I'm glad you put this together." I can't even really talk to these people. I'm so overjoyed at like just kind of everybody trying to either pitch in to say, "Hey, look, maybe this isn't a great thing for me, but I like what you're doing," or people are like, "I love it. What can I do to help?" And then we hit 100. And then we hit 200. And then it just went crazy. And so, so that's kind of how it started. And, I mean, I don't really know what else to say except for I'm completely blessed with all the people that have graced me with their presence in our Discord. And I mean, it's been great, man. It's something I never thought would turn out as big as it has, and I'm just kind of amazed at all the people who are joined in and have helped. And we've done so many things together. One of the things was when we kind of started this, Legion had just kind of come out, so we were at one of those moments where we're like, okay, well, this is going to be kind of a slow build, and then we got to see 7.1 together. 7.2 together, and now it's kind of like people are saying, "Oh, I can't wait for 7.3, and I don't have to worry about this or I don't have to worry about that." And it's just man. I mean, just every time you talk about it, you just it just kind of fills your heart because you're just like, man, you something so small, that you never knew people really wanted, and now it's turned into this. So
that is amazing. And then you guys are still. I don't want to say all of you are in CTR, but you are still affiliated with CTR. I don't know how.
Oh yeah, so I mean, let's just be honest. If it wasn't for CTR, I wouldn't have done this. So on any of my posts, it's always the first thing I say is, "Listen, I am a part of CTR. They are an amazing place. If you are Alliance, that is where you want to be because these people are great." I mean, so yes. And I'm I can't tell you how many times I've done things in CTR where I'm like, "Hey, the COD Squad's going to be available to go run some people through some things." Hint, next week is Wrath of the Lich King time walking. So anybody who happens to need some dungeon runs, I know of a group that likes to do that type of stuff. So I am affiliated with CTR, but we are open to everybody in the U.S., which is crazy because I get people from different time zones, servicemen. I have a bunch of Aussies. That is crazy because they're just like, "Hey, we heard about how great your group was," and I'm like, "Do you know what time it is?" But it's just really, it's really cool. So yes, I am a part of CTR, very, very much so. Love them to death, but I am also open to everybody else. And there are so many people. One of the conversations we have is, "Hey, look, you don't have to transfer. You do it from whatever server." And then all of a sudden, literally, I'm hearing, "Hey, this person's a part of the COD squad, and so they joined CTR," and I'm like, "Oh, no, you didn't have to do that." They go, "Oh, we know we didn't have to, but obviously, if this is what made you do this, then obviously they're really good people." So, hey, if we're getting more guildies and really good guildies out of it, especially if they want to find a really good raid experience, so be it.
Yeah, because COD Squad, I mean, you guys, do some raiding. Is bobbing for bosses still going on?
Yes, bobbing for bosses. We had a hiatus, and it just started back up. We did one earlier tonight. We were Wing 1 and 2. And for those who don't know, bobbing for bosses, we do LFR together. I know that sounds kind of a weird thing, but that's what we do. And I will give you guys just a little sneak preview. Maybe you guys will be the first official ones to hear.
Okay.
The COD Squad is going to have a raid team.
Oh, yay! That's been a long time coming, though. Like, just listening to your meetings and all that stuff.
It is. And what's funny about it is it's something I've kind of thought about. And when I announced it, I can't tell you how many like private messages I got where it was just like, yes, finally. And I'm just like, okay, so that's something you guys really wanted, which we knew they did. But, raids are kind of a particular thing. So we have to make sure that we do it in kind of the same mentality of keeping it positive and making sure people play what they want to play. So we're starting to work on that, and I'm very excited to see how that goes.
That is going to be awesome. And I mean, are you guys going in with the same mentality of teaching for raid, or is this like a legit raid team? Know your stuff. Let's.
Right. So, all right. So here's the plan, and this is for people who are in the COD Squad. They'll get a little piece of this. So the way we're gonna do it is, I love attunements. I think attunements are really cool. Right. Everybody who wants to raid in the COD Squad is going to go through an attunement process, and it's going to be an attunement process inside of the COD Squad. So if people decide that they want to raid with us, they're going to be put on a series of quests. And it's just a way to get them, and it's not to show that they're worthy, right? Because everybody has the chance to do this. But I want them to be able to do certain things with each other, right? Because killing internet dragons with friends is the coolest thing in the world. So we're going to set out a series of quests for them to do, and then when they've completed it, then it's like, all right, now we're going to go raid. So that's kind of the way we're going to do it, especially keeping it so that people understand you bring what you want, right? So I don't, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, well, do you need range? Do you need, we'll deal with that later. First off is let's go smack a boss in the mouth and let's see what happens. And I'm so surprised and so happy about how people have responded to that. So it's pretty exciting just to even talk about this new era, I guess you would say, for the squad.
That is so exciting.
So I have a question that's as you were talking, this occurred to me, and you experienced a massive amount of growth, much like CTR did in the very beginning. Like I know, having talked to Pat and Jules and the people that were around, they had this, some people show up, and this is like, holy crap, all the people came, like everyone's here. Can you talk? And this may be totally boring, but like I'm very interested in that. Can you talk a little bit about like what have you had to put in place as far as infrastructure? Like, did you have to find like I know you had a Discord. And well, you still do. And, did you start the Discord thinking, I'll just have this Discord where some people, like, have you had to find admins? Have you had to have people to help you, like, run all the events and stuff? Like, how did some of that, like, back end stuff come around?
Yeah. So, it, just like every good idea, it starts slow. So literally the first couple people that I had in there were, and I'll even name them, like Navarre, Tess. I'm one of my best friends in real life, Hammy, and I mean Leander, and these guys literally were the only ones who were there for a while. So we would run Mythic Dungeons together over and over and over again. And it was fun though, right? I mean, because that's what we wanted to do. And then as our name got out there, I was doing everything by myself, which is, by the way, if anybody ever wants to do anything like this, do not do that to yourself. It is a disservice, because you burn yourself out. And I had that moment where I was just like, this is no fun. because I wasn't playing the game, because I was not letting people help me. So Navarre, Steph, and all these guys became my captains, and they were basically the people who could go and invite and help me with all the administrative tasks. Other than that, when you tell people what you're about and that you're basically a positive gaming group, there's not a lot of stuff you have to do. A lot of people understand that, this is a safe place and this is where people can go and let their guard down. I mean, we've had some people that we've had to kind of move around or let go because of some problems, but I think everybody goes through that. So as we've progressed, we've had a changing of the guard. These people who have been with me since day one. I believe the other day we officially coined them the OGs. So the OGs who literally were with me at the beginning, they're doing other things now, right? They're still doing their runs and their Mythic Pluses, but they're raiders now. Maybe they're leading raids, maybe they're healing leads. They're doing other things. So now I have the second term of captains coming up who have been there, who are willing to help. So I'm only as good as the leadership that is with me. And this is not, and as we use the analogy of a boat, this is not a single captain, right? I have tons upon tons of captains that help me on a daily basis, that let me know that if I'm screwing up. Kaya Finn is an absolutely amazing lady. She has smacked me out and about the head a couple times when I've done something really silly. But it's people like that I find that I wear my heart on my sleeve. So without the captains, I would have never have been as probably successful as this has been. The infrastructure, the way it's set up. We even had one guy write a bot for us, and his bot basically makes sure that when people are looking for a DPS, a tank, or a healer, they can type something in and it pings a role. It's an amazing idea that I could have probably never have thought of in my own. So that's what all these people are bringing to the table. So I'm only as good as they are, and I'm surrounding myself with absolutely amazing people.
That is awesome. Okay, so we kind of touched
Beautiful.
on the COD Squad. We've touched on your beginnings with WoW, with CTR. Let's kind of switch gears, and Cuddles kind of talked about this BlizzCon. Are you going? How many have you been to? What are you most excited about? Let's dive into that a little bit.
All right, BlizzCon. I'm going this year.
Yay.
Last year's my first year. And last year, I don't know, for those who have been, your first BlizzCon usually is the one where you're there, but are you really there? You're still having those moments of I'm seeing this, but is it really happening? I will tell you, the opening ceremony, I cried. I lost it because I was just like this is it. The inner nerd in me was just I'm here with all these other people. And besides just the actual BlizzCon part, the fact that I was able to meet a lot of the people that I have the utmost respect for, Summer Sal, I can't name everybody, but the fact that I actually made this joke and said the fact that Cuddles knew who I was, that was pretty special. I got a hug from Cuddles, and I was like, "That's it. I can go home now. We're good." and then Pat Crane even he walked by and he goes, "Hey, what's up, COD?" And I was just like, "That's the big man. He knows who I am." And then everybody's just like, "Oh, hey, it's COD," and I'm like, "Oh my God, these people know me." And I'm sure other guilds have that feeling, but I've never experienced that before. So that was I know the night after that, and then we had the CTR party, and I remember just having that moment, and we had this hotel room, and we had I don't know, 5 people in it. We were just packed in like sardines, and I remember just laying on the floor, and I remember the tears filling up, and I was just I have never felt so much love from a group of people that don't even know me. But that's just like, that was just that feeling that I had. So like this year, immediately as soon as the BlizzCon stuff came on, I was like, I got to. And I was kind of worried because like the wife went last year. She was not. So by the way, this is going to be unpopular opinion. She did not like Weird Al Yankovic. So, and she's a big music person. So she was like, oh, who's the music person? And then when I told her, like, I remember that moment of her giving me that look like, are you serious? And I'm like, oh no. She'll never go back. But she like literally like tonight, she was just like, let's get it done tonight. Let's book your travel. Let's book our travel. So we got our plane tickets. We got our hotel reserved. We are good to go for this year.
Woohoo. And it's amazing how many, like, okay, first of all, and back up to like the beginning of your story. Don't be amazed. Like, I was amazed that you knew who I was, that I was meeting like the Captain like, I can't think of another person since my tenure in CTR that has come into the guild and just disrupted things. And I say that like in a good way, like constructive disruption of like the entire CTR meta. Like, Codfished showed up and everybody knew, and everybody's doing all these COD things. Like, what the hell is all this COD stuff? What is there, like a new like toy that I don't know? Like, everybody's rallying. Like, is this the new Left Shark? Are we gonna have to send this Codfish to Dairies? What's going on? You made this massive impact really quick, and I felt like I was meeting a celebrity. And I still do. I'm still utterly in awe of what you've been able to build. But that feeling of BlizzCon, I have to say, like, if you guys can make it to BlizzCon, make it to BlizzCon. That feeling of friendship, of community, of all the things that, like, that it's so amazing and so incredible. You guys got to get there. You got to do it. Got to do it. That's all I got. We got other questions. I was done. I'm sorry.
We've talked about BlizzCon. We've talked about COD Squad, gaming. Is there anything else you want to mention? Talk about anything else you're up to? We know COD Squad's rating. Are there any other directions, things that we missed? I think we covered the spectrum, but
right, yeah, I think we did. You know, one of the things that is kind of big on my plate is I think we all kind of feel in the air that we're probably looking at another expansion pretty soon. You know, I think we're all kind of watching it kind of brew around us. We're just waiting for the announcement. So one of the things that I've started to do is I've started to go out, and I'm actively going out and trying to find people that are having those moments like they're ready to give up. I think that's one of the things that I'm specializing in. Geez, that sounds weird to say that, but because I was there, and you know, one of the things that I'm doing now is I see these posts, I see these people who are asking for help, and I think it's important, and it's not just me, guys, you know, right? It's every one of us. You know, one of the things I always kind of, I do on Twitter, if you guys follow me, it's, you know, every morning I tell everybody good morning, because you never know that when that may positively affect somebody, you know, you never know that. And so one of the things I challenge people with every single day is, if you see somebody like that, tell them there's help. And it's not just me. There are tons of other people out there that do kind of the same thing. And you don't have to say it's the COD Squad, right? I mean, but let them know, hey, look, CTR's got tons and tons and tons of raid teams. Hey, Mythic Plus teams. We got it all. Like, and one of the things I tell people is, look, if you're quiet, you'll never know. And I'm a curious fish. So I'm always like, hey, look, hey, dog, I just saw you say that you just had a problem with something. What's up? Oh, I got kicked from this group. Hey, I know a place you won't get kicked from that group. And it's so funny that people, you know, necessarily say, no, that's not really true, or no, you know, I'm really, really bad. But it gets them thinking. and then that gets them, you put the power in their hands. Go look at this. Go read this. Let them go make their judgments. And so one of the things I'm really working on now is with the new expansion coming out, I'm looking for those people that feel like they have no place to go, right? Because I want to tell them they do have a place to go, right? And by the way, CTR, if I haven't said enough, CTR is an absolutely amazing group. So that's what I'm doing right now. Other than that, did I mention I stream? I do. I stream really bad. So so I have to tell you that when I stream, it's me doing dailies or running dungeons with 1980s and 1990s music playing in the background. That's what I do. I mean, when I finally get up to, and sometimes it's show tunes. It's just how it works. So like, oh, by the way, I am a Rent and Newsy.
Yes, Rent.
Yes.
Newsies?
Any of those.
Bro!
Newsies, Disney's new. Oh my goodness.
We got to deliver the papes.
Yes. Oh my
Dude,
goodness. Don't.
That's
I'm
the first
king of
movie that I ever owned digitally because I couldn't find it anywhere physically. I love that movie.
Oh my goodness. I hum or sing King of New York almost daily.
We just became best friends. That's what just happened.
That just happened. Yeah, no, I do that kind of stuff. One of the cool things is I think I'm going to, when we finally do start rating, I'm going to stream it because I think it's important just to have that out there, just to be like, you know what, we're nothing special. We're going to, smack bosses like everybody else does. So yeah, that's the kind of things that I have going now. Other than that, I mean, I am optimistically and cautiously waiting for BlizzCon, ... because I have that funny feeling like most people do. And I'm telling you, if you've never talked to Navarre and I sit in chat sometimes and we just spitball ideas, and then he makes it so I can't sleep at night. So, but I mean, we've literally been thinking about, when 7.3 will come out, when 7.3.5 will come out. And if you guys haven't seen the video about the last couple patches have come out 77 days exactly. Yeah. So seeing that and you're like, oh, it makes sense. And then you're like, oh my goodness. And let me tell you, if there is an expansion announcement at BlizzCon, I will be the fish that is in the corner sobbing like crazy, just because. Maybe look. Last year was the Sombra, right? Sombra reveal, and I don't even play Overwatch, and I remember having that moment going like, "This is the greatest thing ever." Yeah. So I can't imagine a game I actually play. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm excited just talking about it.
Guys, if you play WoW and you're at that point where you're in that lull, you're about to give up, you still love the game, but you can't find that niche. This gentleman right here is who you want to look for, and we'll talk about how to find the Codfish here in a moment. But these groups, COD Squad, CTR, there are some horde ones out there too. I hear that. They're myths to me, but they do exist. Find these homes, find these groups, and that love of WoW will come back, because you're going to find people who, because the COD Squad, he talks about, will take you through the Mythic 5. We don't care who you are. They'll teach you too. Like if you want to learn, like they have, do you guys still have your class roles? I remember those were a thing for a while there. Yep.
We do.
They will teach you if you want to play, if you want to get better, if you want to find that passion, that drive that brought you into this game, you want it re-sparked, this is one gentleman you should be following and looking at, and we will get that happening. And then, I can't talk enough about CTR. I mean, I'm wearing, CTR, yeah.
Am I the only one? I am wearing my Pandaren shirt.
I will take it.
I am wearing a WoW shirt tonight. I didn't even notice that until I got on camera. I was like, oh wow, I'm just repping the WoW. It happens. It happens. Let me ask you one thing. What can you give us and I want to start doing this with WoW people that come on. What's your favorite memory from Warcraft?
Aw.
What is Warcraft given back to you? Because I feel like we've talked a lot about what you've given to the community, but what has it given you?
Ooh, emotional response here. So for those who do know me, don't know me, my dad has a mental illness, and he's an older gentleman, so it's progressively getting worse. And what Warcraft brings to me is a peace of mind. I don't know if that really makes sense, but I'll explain it. It gives me an opportunity to kind of unplug from the real world for a little bit and just say, all right, let's just take time, mentally reload, have that moment where you're like, all right, things are going to be okay, and also be able to feel like you can help other people at the same time, and that mentally helps me kind of deal with things. So, so anytime I do anything with any group, it's a new memory or a newer memory that becomes my best memory. Doing bobbing for bosses, running somebody's first mythic, any of those memories is I remember before this, I couldn't really remember. Before the COD Squad, I had memories, but not nearly like what I have now. So, and it becomes special because I realize that it's not just special for me, it's special for other people too. So that's what I would say. If it comes from what moment in time, I will be honest. Killing the Lich King was probably it was my first real raiding when, hey, 3 nights a week for a couple hours, we killed the Lich King. I'll never forget. I ran outside in my boxer shorts. I was so excited. I completely missed the cinematic. Completely missed it. But I was so excited. And so that would be, I would probably say, my probably favorite moment. Second would be finding CTR.
Aww.
Aww. That's just like you have unwordsed me. I am without words now. That's absolutely beautiful. T, you got anything else for COD?
I think we have covered everything. I think we've done the spectrum.
I think we've done all the things. So that's gonna bring us to a wonderful, amazing, and really fun time. This brings us for the time for shout-outs. So Codfish,
shout-outs.
Let's start it off with you, Bay. You got any shout-outs this week?
Wow, so many. You know what? One of the things I have to do, and I would be horrible if I didn't do it, is if I did, thank both of you for an absolutely... You guys both, I've talked to you guys for a long, long, long time, and I do have to tip my hat to both of you guys. You guys, mad respect for both of you guys. I appreciate and love both of you guys for everything that you do inside the game and out. So, that is definitely top of my list. I would be an absolutely horrible husband if I did not tell you that I would not be the fish I am without my wife. So yes, Angel, she's
Cute.
She is my angel fish. No, Miss Cod. If you guys do go to BlizzCon, Miss Codfish is the thing that keeps me ticking. So if I didn't shout out for her, that would be horrible. And lastly, the original OGs, and they know who they are. My original captains from the COD Squad: Leander, Tess, Navarre, Steph, Big Angry, Kaya Finn. That group of people that I had, I would not be here if it wasn't for them. For them telling me to keep going, to push the envelope, to see how far I could take this. And, nothing but mad love for them.
Aww. D, what about you?
Yeah, shout out to Fist. I have to shout her out because I'm playing Horde now, and I'm kind of enjoying it. No, I played Horde before, but I've never done Mage, so this is kind of a new experience for me. So I decided if I was going all in with the unknown, let's just go all in with the unknown. And then shout out to Cuddles and Cuddles' wife. I've had some just personal things because life happens, and you just kind of move on and you try and keep your chin up. But these two have just been pushing me along and making sure that I'm still lifing and fooding and stuff like that. So shout out to them for that. And then shout out to Cuddles because we are going to hit episode 100 soon, hun. We're doing that soonish, and not to spoil anything, but I think we have a plan.
Sure.
We have a plan.
Sure. We got talked into some things as it happens.
We might have a plan. We're planning on planning. That's where we're at. 94. We got 6 episodes.
Yeah, that's at least 6 weeks, right?
Yeah, because, Labor Day's in there. People...
Yeah, we'll mix in Labor Day. Like, I won't show up one week. It'll be fine. It's like 2 more years.
We will
can
hear...
think about this in 2018.
There we go. We're good. No, but seriously, shout out to Cuddles and Cuddles' wife because life's been life, and it's been exciting. And then finally, shout out to the CTR crew because guess what, guys? We're going to hit 5 years in under 6 months now. And you guys are already sending me amazing prizes and stuff because it's going to be 5 years, and that's big. That's the last time you can count on one hand. You got to use a second hand now. But no, it's exciting. I can't believe I've been leading events in this guild for a long time now since like almost 6 months after it started. And yeah, it's exciting. So 5 years, and you guys are putting up with that already. So thank you, and keep them coming. But no, seriously, thank you to everyone who has been donating prizes and putting up with my nonsense 6 months in advance. Cuddles, shout outs. I know you got them.
Oh my good Lord. I'm going to try to keep this brief. First and foremost, shout out to the wonderful, it never. It's going to be. Yeah, brace yourselves, my friends. Go grab a drink and settle in, for here goes the journey of my shouts outs. First and foremost, Captain Codfished, the most wonderful fish in the entirety of Warcraft. I think this is the second time I've been able to talk to you on a podcast, and I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity. It's wonderful hearing your story and seeing what you're doing in game. You're really making some absolutely incredible and amazing things happen. So thank you for making Azeroth just a little bit better place to be in. Of course, I'm going to echo Turart's in that shout out to Thist. Damn it, I'm playing Horde now, so that's a thing. But no, I'm really having fun, and I'm looking forward to actually getting up to level and being able to participate. I've never really been a part of any other guild, so I'm kind of looking forward to getting to the point where I can actually do guild things and get to meet some new people. And of course, if they're lagging balls people and this people, I'll ignore the fact that they're hordes, and I'll enjoy their company. Also, huge shout out to Ben and John from Azeroth Roundtable. I was on there this Friday. We had a bunch of technical difficulties, so a little bit of a shorter show, but we had so much fun. Any time spent in their presence is an incredibly entertaining prospect. Then also shout out to Chai T and all of the other co-hosts of Pile of Shame, wonderful podcast that unfortunately also had technical issues on Friday. And we're actually going to be re-recording this week. So looking forward to that. And shout out to the several people that have attempted to help me out. Cuddlewife and I have decided that we want to head north for the total solar eclipse that's coming up. And several people have reached out either publicly or in DMs to try to help me find a place to get to take Cuddle Kid and go see this kind of cool phenomenon. I think that is all I've got. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone. Of course, shout out to Tarach. You're awesome. Oh, say something.
No, I have one. I have a quick story. I forgot I was going to tell
Yes.
this. So, I have been lacking on raiding this expansion 100%. I've done LFR here and there a little bit because of events and stuff, but the one normal raid, and it was I don't even know which one it is. I think the first raid. That's how awesome I am at this game right now. Was bobbing for bosses. It was the last time you guys were going to do it before the next raid came out. That was the one raid I have done this expansion, and I was just everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's turrets! Yeah, come with us." I'm like, I'm gonna just die on the floor a lot because I don't know what I'm doing. Actually, died once. It was a spider boss where she moves, and it sucked. It was hard. But yeah, you guys are the only raid I've done. I think it was Emerald. Yeah, Ian, Emerald Nightmare.
That's it.
But yeah, seriously, they are amazing. They will get you in to see the stuff if you want to see the stuff. That story should have been a while ago, but that's okay.
That is awesome. I've also been notified that I forgot Cuddle Wife in my shout-outs. And since everyone else shouted her out, or I guess Codfished did it, but he shouted his wife, so I'm counting that. Things just got weird. No, but shout out to Cuddle Wife. She's awesome. She's amazing. She keeps me going. She keeps a smile on my face most of the time. And I just appreciate being able to do life with her and her letting me do life in this fashion. Small little teaser. Keep an eye on my Twitter. There's going to be some big news coming out this week. Some big exciting stuff that's happening in my life that I can't yet talk about. But yeah. Oh, hey. Happy. Oh, damn it. That's what you meant that I... See, okay, women. I need to talk to the women.
Did you forget your anniversary?
No. I need to talk to the women in the crowd. If you want a man to do something, tell that man exactly what he needs to do.
Did you forget your anniversary?
I have not. It is not for 54 more minutes. Thank you very much.
Okay.
But that's what she wanted me to say when she said that I should shout her out. Is she wanted me to thank her for the last 7 amazing years of marriage that have been absolutely wonderful and incredible. However, just say that. Don't say, I need you to pay attention to me. When you really mean I need you to do the damn dishes and take the trash out. You need me to do the dishes and take out the trash? Tell me. I'll go do them. I promise. That's a thing that can happen. Yeah, just tell us. I don't know about all men. Maybe every other man out there is better than me, but I don't do between the lines. I read the lines and then I see the period at the end of the sentence. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'm done.
Fact.
Yeah, I'm bad at nuance. So just tell me what you need, Cuddle Wife. Happy anniversary in about 53 more minutes. But yeah, 7 years. It's been awesome. It's been amazing. Closing out my very brief shout-outs that lasted 10 minutes. Guys, we have a meetup coming up in the Central Florida area for any of those in CTR, any of those in the COD Squad, any of those in the World of Warcraft, or streaming, or like anything. You like video games? Come on out. I'm dropping a link in chat. There will be a link in the show notes as well. We have the very first Tampa community meetup going on for streamers, viewers, mods, devs, WoW players, whatever. Come on. We're going to be in Brandon, Florida, August the 12th at, I believe, 6 p.m. I should know this because it's fine. But 6 sounds right. We're going to go with that. So this is going to bring us to a wonderful and magical and amazing part of the show where I get down on my virtual knees and I beg and I plead for you to leave those all-important 5-star iTunes reviews. So if you like what we've been doing, make sure you drop 5 stars over on iTunes for the game case. If you dislike what we've been doing, leave 2 stars for Lieutenant Anchovy. It's this wonderful podcast about this guy that went into AIE and tried to start a loving community, but he kind of smells, and he was being mean to everyone. So he's basically the antithesis of Captain Codfish, and he started a podcast. So leave 2 stars for Lieutenant Anchovy and 5 stars for the Game Case Show. Sometimes these jokes work, sometimes they don't, folks. I can't be responsible. I make them up on the fly. I love you all. Captain Codfish, where can people find you on the internet?
So easiest thing to do is find me on Twitter. I'm at Gaming with Cod, all one word.
All right, guys, that is going to do it for this week. Captain Codfish, thank you once more.
Yes.
God, why don't you guys say bye?
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to The Game Case Show. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. You can find Cuddles at The Game Case, Tourarts at Tourarts, and you can find the show at The Game Case Show. Join us live Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/thegamecase. Archived episodes are available at youtube.com/thegamecase. The theme music for the show is Celtic Impulse by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com and is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0.